Hi, this is Eliot from Workload. In this video, we're going to be exploring the workload editor step by step. First, we'll be learning about adding a step to the bottom of a workflow. Then we'll be learning about adding a step into the middle of a workflow. Finally, we're going to be learning about creating a new path in our workflow. All right, we're going to start here at the workload editor with a trigger of a new entry in Typeform. So this workflow that we're about to build is going to be initiated when there is a new entry or a new response for a form we created in Typeform. The first thing we're going to do is add a step. So I'm going to click on the Add Step button. And now we have our first action. So we are going to do that in MailChimp. And we are going to add or update a contact on a list. And I'm going to use my MailChimp account. And the audience that I am going to add this contact to is my workload audience or my workload mailing list. So now the email the contact, I can pull that information from my trigger. So I'm going to come down to the drop-down menu, select in the form, and the email address is one of the responses to our form. I'm going to say they're subscribed to our MailChimp list. The first and last name are also coming here from our form. So we have Sylvie, last name, of course, is Bums, and then birthday. Oh, okay. So this is the way the birthday is coming from our trigger, with the year, the month, the day, and then a specific hour, minute, second format. But MailChimp only wants month and day. So in order to make that happen, we need to format that date into the proper format. So the way we can do that is by adding a step in the middle of our workflow. So I'm going to click the plus sign here in the middle. We have the option to add a step, add a filter, or add a delay. We are going to add a step, and that is going to be one of our tools. And it's going to be our AI formatter by workload. I'm going to format the data. The input is going to be that date. And we're going to tell it format date into month/day. Continue. Test that. Okay, so now we have that date formatted the way we want. So now we can jump back down to MailChimp. And I can skip all the way down here to step 4. And all the information I had been working on before is still there. But now I can get rid of that wrongly formatted birthday and pump in the correct formatted birthday from our step 2, the format data in AI formatter. Okay, so now we have the proper birthday. And the rest of this information I can take from that initial trigger, but I'm going to skip past that. I need to add the email here. One more time. And then click continue. We'll test the action. Okay, so that was a success. So now we have a simple workflow with a trigger of a new entry in Typeform. We format that data in order to have the date in the proper format, and then we added or updated a contact on a list in MailChimp. So now I can keep on building this workflow. You can keep on adding more and more steps, and each step can take information from any of the steps before it in order to automate that workflow. So we will now go to Gmail, and we will send an email in Gmail.
A few moments later.
So now, anytime I have that new entry type form, it formats the data, it adds a contact, the MailChimp, and it sends an email. Now, let's say we want to keep building our workflow, but we want to kind of go down a different path. So I can here add a path I'm actually going to add it below that formatted date in case you want to use that different version of the date in this path as well. So I'm going to create a branch here. Now we're going to use the information in order to create an event in Google Calendar. So we'll go to Calendar. We will quick add an event. And this is going to be on our example calendar. And we're going to use this text feature in order to create our event. So we will say the name of our new friend here. So again, Sylvie. Bums has a birthday on, and then we'll select that formatted date. And click continue, and then we can test that action. And then that was a success as well. And so then on this side of my workflow, I'm going to create a card in Trello to remind myself of that event in Google Calendar.
A few moments later.
So now we have a workflow starting with a trigger of a new entry in Typeform. That data gets formatted, and then our paths split, with one path having to do with adding a contact and then sending that contact an email, and the other path having to do with adding that event to Google Calendar and then creating a Trello card to remind me of that birthday. That's how you can use the add a path and add a step functions of the workload editor to create a workflow that works for you. Please like and subscribe this video to get more content from Workload about how to make your business practices flow more smoothly. And I'll see you next time.